सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। Verse number 17 onwards. मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात्। मानसं तु किं मार्गणे कृते नैव मानसं मार्ग आर्जवात्। वृत्तयस्त्वहं वृत्तिमाश्रिताः वृत्तयो मनो विद्यहं मनः। Did come back? It is still there. Yes. Still there. There are highlights. Bhagavan is coming in different form. Vruttayastvaham vrittimashritah vruttayo mano vidyaham manah. Vruttayastvaham vrittimashritah vruttayo mano vidyaham manah. अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वतः पैपतत्यहं निज विचारणम्। अहमयं कुतो भवति चिन्वतः पैपतत्यहं निज विचारणम्। अहमिनाशभाजहमहं तया स्फुरतिरुत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत्। वरस्फुर अहमिनाशभाजहमहं तया स्फुरतिरुत्स्वयं परमपूर्णसत्। इदमहं पदाभिख्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनकेऽप्यलयसत्तया। इदमहं पदाभिख्यमन्वहम् अहमिलीनकेऽप्यलयसत्तया। विग्रहेन्द्रिय प्राणधीतमः नाहमेकसत्तज्जडं ह्यसत्। विग्रहेन्द्रिय प्राणधीतमः नाहमेकसत्तज्जडं ह्यसत्। सत्त्वभासिका चित्त्ववेतरा सत्तया हि चित्तया ह्यहम्। सत्त्वभासिका चित्त्ववेतरा सत्तया हि चित्तया ह्यहम्। ईश जीवयोर्वेषधिभिदा सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम्। ईश जीवयोर्वेषधिभिदा सत्स्वभावतो वस्तु केवलम्। We saw this false knowledge about I, Jiva, and Ishvara causes the problem, and that false knowledge is born out of identification with Upadhi, taking the Upadhi to be real. In that sense, that this is real is again caused by ignorance. Like an actor takes himself to be real beggar, whereas the beggar happens to be a role, and that the beggar is born because of identification with the Upadhi, Vesha. And that identification with Vesha is born out of ignorance. And I explained to you yesterday at the end, identification means taking it to be real. This is what I am. I am the beggar, full stop. I am beggar incidental. Incidental beggar, that is wisdom. He knows this is the role that I am playing. When this identification with Upadhi, self-identity with reference to Vesha, my self-identity is my Vesha is my self-identity. The beggarly Vesha is actor's identity. Similarly, this Jiva and Ishvara are born because of this identity, false identity. And then there is a desire to know Ishvara. Then there is a desire to see Ishvara. And if at all that Jiva sees Ishvara, it is temporary. Ishvara comes and goes. Ishvara becomes Drashyam. That beggar is seeking the actor. I want to see that actor. He cannot see. And if at all he sees it, it's a momentary. This Upadhi, when it is known as real, means though it is apparent. When the Upadhi is known as apparent, the difference between the beggar and the rich actor is apparent. So also the difference between Jiva and Ishvara are apparent. From the standpoint of the Upadhi, there is a difference. As Swamiji always say, actor A, Amitabh Bachchan, and beggar B on the stage, who is a beggar. The B, the difference between B and A, beggar and Amitabh Bachchan, is from the standpoint of Vesha. Or double role, actor comes in a double role. It's a standard plot in Hindu movie. There were twins, and their twins got lost. And one grew up in Jhopadpatti, another became a king. This difference is only from the standpoint of a Upadhi, Vesha. The difference being caused by Vesha is apparent. So also Ishvara, total Upadhi is Ishvara, individual Upadhi is Jiva. From the standpoint of the awareness, there is no difference. I am beggar, I am Amitabh, or I am beggar, I am king. That being kingliness and beggarliness is Vesha difference. From the I amness, there is no difference from between the two. Whatever is non-dual consciousness. Satchidatma, as though has become many. Being, we have discussed this, being the Upadana Karanam, the material cause of the creation. Everything isness belongs to that. And what a cause, material cause? Vivarta Upadana Karanam. without undergoing any intrinsic change. I, without undergoing any intrinsic change, am a material cause for the whole dream world. That is because of my indescribable creative power, which can be called as Maya or Prakriti, etc. That Prakriti, my creative power, makes an appearance of many, one as though becoming many. The difference is apparent. There is no change involved in me whatsoever. Therefore, I use the word no intrinsic change. The change, it may appear in the dream. I may be suffering, I may be running, I may be moving, I may be laughing, crying, all kinds of things. You may see your whole life there, some parts of the life, some few years of your life. But that change doesn't bring about any intrinsic change in me. Like the fellow might have committed some crime in the dream, and he may become punishable. There may be a court case going against him, and he was punished to life imprisonment. The police were taking him, and he ran away from there. And he ran and jumped the wall. From where? From bed to the floor. All this can't touch him. No intrinsic change. There is no intrinsic change in the consciousness or Param Brahma, Satyam Gnanam Anantam Brahma, and that creates all upadhis. And from the standpoint of all upadhis, as we call it, Samashti Upadhi Upahita Chaitanya. The consciousness endowed with all upadhis is Ishvara. Vyasti Upadhi Upahita Chaitanyam. Consciousness obtaining or conditioned by one upadhi is Jiva. So from the standpoint of the upadhi, there is a difference, yes. But from the point of view of the consciousness, that is real I, that is what I am, there is no difference whatever. And that is Isha Darshanam, that he explains it further, just puts it in the words. Look at the next verse. We saw yesterday half little bit. We'll complete here. Isha jivayor veshadibhida satsvabhavato vastu kevalam. Isha jivayor veshadibhida satsvabhavato vastu kevalam. Veshanata swatmadarshanam Isha darshanam swatmarupatah Veshanata swatmadarshanam Isha darshanam swatmarupatah. Veshahanatah, destruction of the Vesha. Not really, you have to destroy the body. You have to see the fallacious nature of the body. Actor need not tear off his dress of beggar. You just need to know that appearance of a beggar is fallacious. That's all. I am beggar apparently. I really don't become beggar. That is called Veshahani. Okay? That beggarliness is apparent. I is real. That which that I amness of that beggar is real. So that means, in other words, it is said, when you give up the identification with Vesha, giving up the identification means reality given to identification. You cannot give up identification. Actor cannot give up identification with the Vesha as long as he's on the stage. At least he can have an option. Suppose one actor lost some chemical imbalance. He was playing a role of a beggar and started begging, all the time outside, out of the stage. Went around and kept begging. He was taken to psychotherapist and treated and with medicine and all that and became all right. Then the doctor may advise, and he may follow, never play role of a beggar. Or better, keep away from the stage for some time. Because you are still weak, you may tend to identify with that role. In life, it doesn't happen. As long as you are alive, you are in the body, mind, and you are aware about it. Say, please understand, these are all implied meaning of these words. Give up identification with body. Mano buddhi ahankar chitta ninaham. I am not mind, I am not buddhi, I am not chittam, etc. I am not means what? In spite of saying I am mind, discover I am not. This is cognitive space. Actor has it. Even when he says beggar, or I would say even when he conducts as a beggar. As a beggar, that fellow may cry. The role warrants that his wife has died. The role that he is playing in the role, his wife passed away. Fellow will cry. Or they may fight and he may divorce the spouse. Divorces them. Even while he is crying, identification is given up. Understand? What does it mean to give up identification? He is crying, but there is a space here. He looks like a husband who has lost the spouse, and he may be crying profusely. All those dialogues. And with background music. Audience, this fellow Mullah Nazruddin started crying, looking the cry. Fatima was sitting beside him in burqa, and she could hear, and Mullah doing that. Mullah could not see her crying. She was smiling, in fact, and praying, wish I had this freedom. I may get this opportunity to get free from this mullah. But this fellow started crying, and she gave him one from her elbow. Abhi to main jinda hu. I am alive now. Mullah said, isliye ro raha hu. I am crying only for that reason. I wish I would have been that lucky as that actor. Anyhow, that fellow in the audience, forget about it, just take it lightly, the joke. The fellow in the audience is really crying. There is an identification with the actor. Actor has an identification with the role, but he has a space here. Even while behaving as a role also, because of the space, that fellow is free from it. Understand? That is called giving up the identification. You cannot give up. As long as prarabdha is, subtle body will be there in this gross body. And as long as the subtle body is, there will be I sense with the gross body. I told you. On the American airport, nobody can say, I am Chidananda Rupa. You have to tell, I am this. It is always there. But then giving up means cognitively knowing this is not me. Or this, both ways, this is not me or this is apparent. that I am beggar is apparent or I am not beggar, into bracket, really speaking. That is called Veshahana. When it is given up, the I is seen as it is, then it is Isha Darshanam. The Ishvara is to be seen as I. As long as there is a Bheda, that means you see yourself as Upadhi. You have identification with your physio-psycho complex. Then, and that identification is taken to be real. And that being a case, there is a Bheda, and there is a desire to see the Ishvara. That is enough. This one Bheda. Atha udaram antaram kurute tasya bhayam bhavati. The classic example for this is the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna requested for the cosmic form. Lord showed him limitless form. He saw him as limitless. There are Vakyas, Surya's, so you have 1,000 heads and 1,000 hands and 1,000 legs and all that is there. Just by the way, in Shastra, whenever the word 1,000 is used, please understand, 1,000 means infinite. It's not number. 1,000 means limitless. It is figuratively called 1,000. Otherwise, this Purusha Sukta, Sastra Shirsha Purusha, Sahasraksha Sahasrapad. Purusha has 1,000 heads and 1,000 hands and 1,000 eyes and 1,000 legs. And that means actually what they should say, if Purusha has 1,000 heads, then you cannot say Sahasraksha, 1,000-eyed. You should say Dvisahasraksha. Otherwise, Kaniyo thei jai bicharo, Bhagavan. It is not so. So 1,000 is limitless. So Bhagavan, Arjuna says, you are limitless. The brilliance, the shine that is, Yadi Divi Surya Sahastrasya Bha, as though thousands of sun have risen on the horizon. The effulgence that it will emit, so much is you. Limitless effulgence, limitless. Dishona jane na labhecha sharma. All the sides I see you everywhere. I don't know which is eastern, western, northern, southern, up and down. Everywhere you are there. But then, this fellow, our dear Arjuna, who was so fearless, who could take on Lord Shiva. He took on, therefore he got this some astras. That Arjuna got frightened. He said, I am afraid. Hey Bhagavan, please come back to your Teneva Saumya Rupena Bhava Sahastra. I don't want to see that. You know why? He saw himself separate. He said, I see limitless. The seer was there. That limitless was limitless minus me. Anything limitless minus something can never be limitless. Infinity is all inclusive. Therefore they say Hindu Dharma is all inclusive. Because we talk of infinity. Anyway, we'll see that. So, therefore there is Bhaya. He saw himself separate. This is why so separate. He saw himself as Mr. Arjuna. Upaditaha, real I. That Upaditaha, that is real I. Difference. And therefore Bhayam. So, this difference, we may see Ishvara as infinite. But as long as I, the seer, is there, that identity is limited, Ishvara is limited. Please understand. One more point, these differences are apparent. That means Vastu Kevalam. There is only one Vastu, only one thing. Like entire dream world, there are many, many things. But Vastu is one. I am the only Vastu. I am the only truth. I am the only real Vastu. There is nothing other than me. Okay? That is called Vastu Kevalam. Like Swamiji's good old example, 1 ton of gold and 100,000 ornaments. When you count, you can say 100,000 ornaments. And you can say there is only one Vastu. What is one Vastu? That is gold. What is one Vastu? That is I am consciousness. Nothing other than me is. Whatever is, is. And that is I is. Therefore, Isha Darshanam Swatma Rupa. Okay? And that being a case, this is self is non-separate from Ishvara. And therefore, this doesn't contradict any forms. This doesn't negate any form of worship, any form of prayer, any form or anything that you do to see Ishvara or meet Ishvara or express your devotion for Ishvara. Nothing is wrong. You can go ahead. So different forms of worship are valid in our case. You have no objection. You can worship in Gujarati, Haryanavi, Punjabi, English, Portuguese, Spanish. Argentina people speak Spanish. You can worship him in Spanish. Nothing wrong. Then separation is there. Forms of worships are accepted because the separation is apparent and worship is also. Let there be any number of differences in apparent as long as you know. You don't mind seeing a movie with all kinds of differences and things because it's all apparent. The tragic scene is also welcome and the joyous moment is also welcome. You enjoy. Those seasoned people, Gnani, movie Gnani, they will be sitting and watching. Yeah, that hero, especially I know some women, that heroine wore these earrings. I am to buy that. She looks so beautiful in that earring which she wore in that movie. Gnani Purusha. That dress that fellow wore. That bracelet that fellow had it. I want it. You don't care. You validate it. Let it be there. So we validate all forms of prayer. But that doesn't mean all religion are same. There is a most confounded confusion. People say all religions are same. I would say all prayers are same. You can pray. Because He is everything. He is everywhere. Any form you pray, you are invoking Ishvara. Any language you pray, He is invoking Ishvara. It's fine, or any which way. An aborigine in the forest, Adivasi, in jungles, they have their own very primitive methods and primitive life. It is okay. It's Ishvara. They invoke Him and it is accepted. But that doesn't mean all religion are same because the concept or vision of Bhagavan is not same. Everybody has their private God. And what the God is thought to be and what the God is are entirely two different things. And then there are religious groups come out. No, ours is the God. The other fellow says, mine is the God. These are modern religions, exclusive fellows. Ours is only one. God has mandated. If you don't come to me, you are destined to be in there for hell. If you surrender to me, then promise heaven. Non-thinking concepts. or I can say dishonest concept of the God. Why is it dishonest? What is cognitive honesty? I'll tell you, an openness to listen and change. They don't. People invest maximum emotions in God, so-called faithfuls or believers. So anything you talk about them, they are not ready to listen. I feel really proud to belong to the tradition. We hear this. We had dialogues. Famous one, Shankaracharya had a dialogue with Mandan Mishra. Dialogue means like a scientist. They were open to rethink, open to understand. In the light of new knowledge, they had willingness and capacity to give up what they thought to be true. That is cognitive honesty. That we had it. Nowadays, that is also missing, or we are losing that because of emotional investment. So much of emotions are invested in religion, people have no space here, no willingness to think. And that ego comes in. How come you can say something wrong about my God? My God. That means you are hurting me. To file a police complaint. That is, if you are a seeker of a truth, one should have open mind. Seeker of the truth, like a scientist, they are open, ready to change. Whatever research they say, this is the correct thing. But then, if someone comes with a new research, he listens and justifies, yes, you are right. Accept. Because that's our teaching tradition. So, Isha Darshanam, what the God is thought to be, is completely different than what he is. And I'm sure he must be lamenting. My God, how they think of me. Like our Modi ji, poor fellow, he gets every day new compliment, he one day he said in election कि मेरे पास 100 गालियां हैं जो मुझे दी गई है 100 abuses are given to me and he said how are you strong because I eat those people have all kinds of ideas really. Anyway, coming back to the point, the self-knowledge is Ishvara. Concluding, I would say, do pray, must pray. That I know, yeah, self-knowledge is Ishvara. Then why should I pray? Therefore, you should pray. Because you have heard this. Need to own this. You have to. Self is Ishvara means every self is Ishvara. There is nothing separate from Ishvara. Okay? Now, Swamiji, I know it is all Bhagavan. Don't want to pray? No. Look at your spouse. Can you see Bhagavan in him or her? Then fine. Which is difficult. Moment they see, all memories come out, Apohanam, Ishvara's Krupa goes away. It's not. That knowledge to assimilate, the next verse comes. We have to pray. And that darshanam is something divine, something absorbing, is a great fruition of your punya karma, something to be achieved. But along with that, devotees have always wished, oh Bhagavan, may I see you, may I talk to you, may I hug you. Just put one more prayer. Okay. Just add this. Many people ask something else also. They pray, oh Bhagavan, give me some money, give me this position or promotion. Oh Bhagavan, nowadays there will be a common prayer, oh Bhagavan, save us from Corona. We need a savior today. The savior from Corona. Poor Savior is also has run away from Corona. I tell you, even if he comes, he will be out of in the Corona. You know, so you save me. And some people say, Swamiji, I get nightmares. I know a couple of ladies, the mind is stuck there. They say, Swamiji, I can't sleep. Every day I think, suppose it comes to me, I get infected. What will I do? I said, then you get infected. What can you to do? No, but then suppose I die, then what will I do? Then when you die, you have nothing to do. Whatever is to be done, then Bhagavan has to do. It is like that joke, you know. One day teacher asked in the class, suppose children we have lions here, you know, Asiatic lions near my place. They go for a picnic and all that. Suppose you are there and suddenly in the forest, you turn and lion is there in front of you. What will you do? One child said, Sir, I have nothing to do. Now, whatever is to be done is done by lion. I cannot do. When he is right in front of me, what can I do? સિંહ સામે આવીને ઉભો રહે પછી મારે શું કરવાનું? મારે તો થઈ જાય એકાદ બે વસ્તુ. I have nothing to do. ભગવાન એ જે કરે. So if you die, what will I do? When you die, you have nothing to do. The law of karma phala will take you to another yoni. As simple as that. And before that, you can start doing it rather than worrying it, you know. Start building your resistance power and be safe and keep distance. That's all. But that fixation. Anyway, just add one more prayer. When you are praying, whatever things you may ask, do ask. I'm neither saying it's wrong or good or bad, nothing. It's okay. It's fine. It's a legitimate thing that you want. But add one more demand. Oh Bhagavan, let me see you as myself. And that is a real bhakti. Bhakti means surrender. What is ultimately to be surrendered is your individuality. As long as ego is there, ego keeps surrendering but keeps himself safe. That's not ultimate surrender. And whatever you offer to Bhagavan, you know, I give this, no, idam, that is all his, nothing is yours. Suppose you offer a rose to Bhagavan, that there is a rose plant is created by him. That there is a Mother Earth is created by him. That there is a potential in Mother Earth to grow the rose plant is created by him. That there is a water, that there is a vayu, you know, different types of gases, that there is a sun, that there is a moon, and that there is a fragrance, everything he has created. You just plucked and gave him. Some people come to see me. And when they come, there is a tradition. They just come with one rose. They give. Some of these are very beautiful. Oh wow, such a beautiful rose, so nice, multicolored and all that. I praise 2-3 sentences. And with little shame, they say, Swamiji, I know I should not go empty-handed to a Swami, to my teacher. But today in Haribari, I forgot and I plucked the rose from your own garden. Understand? This is called Tera Tujko Arpan. Yours I am offering to him, to you only. Nothing belongs to us. What belongs to you? What thing is that you are completely author of? That is your ego. And that ego is not an object. Okay, I give up my ego, Bhagavan. That fellow who says I give up ego is another ego. That is backdoor ego. So, ultimate surrender is discovering the fallacy of ego. In the previous verse context, giving up the identification with ego. Owning up the fallacious nature of ego. You know, that prayer you make. Oh Bhagavan, let me see the fallacy of I. Let me discover the reality of I, that is you, not separate from me. The me is not there, or whatever it is me only. No, the wave can say, I am not separate from ocean, or I am ocean. As a wave, name and form, it is separate. But as water, it is not separate from the ocean. Individual is not separate from the total. That individual can say, I am total. The totalness is apparent. Individualness is apparent because it is vivarta upadana. Without any intrinsic change, there is total created. The whole is created. And in the whole, there is a part is created. There is no real creation. That is why he says, Isha Darshanam Swatma Darshanam. The knowledge of Ishvara is knowledge of the self. And that is called vision of Ishvara. Difference is aupadikam. The limitless awareness is same. The same limitless awareness with its indescribable power called Maya has become many and varied, individual and total. From the point of view of awareness, from I, the awareness, there is no difference. There is no divine. And the difference is apparent means pratibhasika, subject. As long as I see, so long. Therefore, they say the world is like dream. It is not exactly like dream, but the reality of it is. The dream reality is pratibhasika. So also the world is pratibhasika, full of differences. What is Ishwar Darshanam? What is the nature of knowledge that it tells in the verse, next verse? Just see the verse number 26. Atma samsthiti swatma darshanam. Atma samsthiti swatma darshanam. Atma nirdvayat atma nishtata. Atma nirdvayat atma nishtata. Atma samsthiti, Atma samsthiti swatma darshanam. Atma nirdvayat atma nishtata. Atma samsthiti swatma darshanam. Atma nirdvayat atma nishtata. Atma sthiti. Atmani sthiti. Sthiti means to abide in, to be in, or to own it up. Samsthiti means very well abidance. I will explain this word. Very well abidance in the self. Which self? I have to tell this. Real self. Please understand. Self is only one. But I have to say real self because there is unreal self. There is an individual self. There is one identified self. Or example is there is beggar self. Beggar self, there is a self which is beggaring. And that beggar is a false self. And it has to abide in the real self. Real self means I am beggarliness is apparent. I am actor A. That is called Atma Samsthiti. And that I, who is one with consciousness, who knows I am existence consciousness, Satchidatma Aham Asmi, that is called Swatma Darshanam. That is called vision of the self. And then he says, Atma Nirdvayat. Dvayaha means duality. Nirdvayaha, that which is free from duality. Atma Nirdvayat, since the self Nirdvayat is Panchami. Since the self is free from duality, since the self is non-dual, Atmanishtata, there is Atmanishtata, the status of abidance in the self. Okay? Means because for self is non-dual, that there is natural abidance in the self. Okay? This is the translation of the shloka. Now, just one point which I would like to clarify. All the way, remember implied meaning. And the words needs to be handled in teaching and in learning also. You have to understand in a proper context. You have to see the implied meaning. Atma darshanam, seeing the self. This is not. Because when I say seeing, okay, see, but then you say self. What is the meaning of self? I. That means seeing I. If you are seeing I, who is the seer? I cannot be seen and I cannot be seer. Understand? Seeing word is used to imply something. When you see something, it means you have clear knowledge about it. That means that is no doubt about it. There is no question of changing the vision. Suppose when you see this in my hand, this is a mouse, okay? You are seeing it. But suppose you close your eyes and I said, this is mouse. And then somebody asked you, did Swamiji had mouse in his hand during the class? You must, I had heard him saying he had a mouse. But that becomes, in the court of law, circumstantial evidence. If somebody says, I saw it, no doubt about it. So, darshanam or seeing is used in Shastra to mean clear, doubtless knowledge. Knowledge free from any doubts and error. That's Atma Darshanam, means self-knowledge free from any doubt and okay, that's all. Not that you have to literally see the self. Okay? And that knowledge is abidance in the self. And that since the self is non-dual, that is Atmanishtha. We will talk about this in the next class. It requires a little more explanation. So we'll see that later. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari